Hey everyone, Spencer here, and welcome back to the show. What you're about to listen to is an interview that I conducted with Mark Mars from nichewebsite.builders. Now, Mark was actually on the podcast previously, but we did pre-recorded sides on either end, so I recorded some questions and then he recorded the answers. And it was a little bit different, so I decided to bring him back on the show so we could talk live in person, actually on video, and so we could have a little bit better of a discussion back and forth. Mark is the founder, as I said, of nichewebsite.builders. They are an SEO agency that started about a year ago, and they've grown rapidly. They've grown a ton. They offer things like content for affiliate websites, link building, and recently I have ordered a link building package from them. I've ordered the Shotgun Skyscraper link building package, and I thought it'd be interesting to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes of what goes on after I place an order. And so I dove into some of those questions. I asked Mark, what's happening behind the scenes? What's the email process like? How many people are you getting links from? How long does it take? That sort of thing. So we also dive into some SEO strategies, what works well for link building, content, and some of Mark's thoughts on building a portfolio of sites and why he and his partner are building several at once and what their plans are going forward. And so that's kind of what we cover here today. If you do want to order any link building or content from Niche Website Builders, you can go over to nichepursuits.com/niche website builders. And usually there is a coupon code there. Currently there is, and I expect that it will be there for a little bit. Sometimes it's more or less, just depending on what sort of special deal that they're running at the time. So if you go over to nichepursuits.com/niche website builders, you can get a private coupon code that is not available anywhere else. But overall, I hope you enjoy the interview with Mark. Hey, Mark, welcome to the Niche Pursuits podcast.
Hi, Spencer. Thanks for having me.
Yep. It's great to have you, I guess, back on. You know, before when you were on, we did sort of a pre-recorded side of the interview. So this is really the first time we're recording together all at the same time. So it's going to be great being able to chat with you here today.
Excellent. Yeah. Thanks.
So, you shared last time you were on, you shared a little bit about how you have grown Niche Website Builders. Just to catch people up, if they didn't hear the last podcast interview, let people know what Niche Website Builders is and when you guys started that.
Yeah. So Niche Website Builders, I started with a co-founder of mine, a co-founder called Adam Smith. We started it around December last year, so about 11 months ago now. We'd only actually met like 3 months prior, so we've only known each other for a year, and because of lockdown and everything and all the things that are going on, we've only met 3 times. We're about 2.5 hours drive away, but we've only met 3 times. I mean, we're on Zoom every day and on chat every day, so we feel like we know each other. But
right.
Yeah, so we were running our own portfolios of sites and over time, and I heard Adam on the Flipping Websites podcast with Richard Patey, as it was back then, and I found it was a really interesting interview. So I got in touch with him, and we talked about affiliate sites and building sites a bit, and we decided to kind of meet up. So about a week later, I went down to Wales, which is where he's based. Met up with them. We started chatting. We spoke about our frustrations about hiring writers and running things through Upwork and like the challenges that come with building sites and kind of almost having to have a mini team if you want to outsource stuff.
Right.
And we weren't happy. We tried some of the agency services as well. And we just weren't happy with the quality that we got back. We didn't really get the kind of service we wanted. And we were also looking for, we started to sort of plan what would our ideal agency look like, and that would be something that would give us the quality that we would want and expect, but also provide end-to-end services. So, something that's like we could go to, and they'd give us the keyword research. They'll do the writing. They'd help us with the niche selection if we wanted to. They would upload it. They would put it into templates that work well and are proven to convert, and insert the affiliate link. So all we'd have to do was like press publish, and that's what we figured would be awesome to have, and to a high standard as well. So we've been building affiliate sites for a while, so we kind of got some of our own methods and kind of proven methods that we know that if we push on with the way that we work, then we're going to get results. And so partially it was kind of a selfish thing. It's like, let's build this team anyway for us, for our own portfolio, and we can train them up. And rather than getting people off Upwork who are 1 week are writing a book, the next week they're editing someone's copy, then they're writing affiliate content. We can train them up to be proper affiliate writers. And so we did that, and then we kind of wanted to offer it out to some people. And it seems like that was a little bit of a gap, because like just the way that we positioned the service and the way that it was kind of end to end was kind of a little bit unique. And it seemed like a lot of people were after that kind of thing. So that's kind of how it started. I mean, for a month before, for a year before we actually started Niche Website Builders, I had the site that is Niche Website Builders now was a blog, which was to document and blog about a site that I was creating and how to monetize sites. I've been doing SEO for a lot of years, but affiliate marketing less so. So I kind of wanted to document that journey. It was kind of a similar time to Own the Yard, actually, Spencer. Yeah. So I missed that by 2 or 3 months, starting at the same time.
Okay.
But I started a few months later and kind of and documented it along the way. So that became popular. We got kind of a following around the case study, and then when we came to launch the services, we already had a following there that had been following the case study. And then we're interested in, the case study was quite successful. So they're interested in kind of, purchasing services from the same people who
right. So that makes it a lot easier to launch the service. You've already got kind of a following, and I know you had a Facebook group that was very active, that you were building that following, and launched it to great success. We talked about that a little bit in the last podcast, but it's now been almost a full year, right, since you launched the service. And maybe just give us an idea. Is it going well? Whatever sort of success metrics you're willing to share with us here.
Yeah, so it's going really well. I mean, we've had a crazy amount of growth in terms of customers, we've been hiring almost every week for the entire year, and that's been really good. That's going really well. We kind of kept. We kind of, over the course of the year, we've kind of increased the services that we're offering. So we started out with content. About a month later, we started doing done-for-you sites as well, with content on them. Around April this year, we launched our Shotgun Skyscraper link building service, which also has been pretty popular. There's not many agencies offering that kind of service. Mostly it's kind of guest post niche edits kind of service. And as of today, we also launched our guest posting niche edit service, which kind of serves a little bit of a different purpose to Shotgun Skyscraper. So, it's been a busy year, but we've got lots of plans for 2021 as well and beyond. So.
Good. So you've been able to build a successful agency, growing. Crazy that it's less than 12 months. The year goes by quick. But you guys have done well. And of course, my audience has resonated with what you guys offer, because most of my audience is building niche affiliate websites. And so people kind of resonate with a lot of the services that you offer and the type of link building that you do. So let's talk a little bit about a couple of your services. Actually, before we talk specifically about the services, I'm actually curious, what is the most popular service? Like, are you finding that most of your orders are for content packages, or is it Shotgun Skyscraper? Kind of what's popular?
Yeah, so there's kind of I'd say there's a split. So we have our services. We provide them on subscription. So you pay for content on subscription, or you pay for links on subscription, and that's kind of mostly how it works. And right now it's about 50-50.
Interesting.
Which is surprising because we think
Yeah.
content would be a lot more. So there's content is still a bigger part of our business because we get a lot of one-off orders. So there's the subscriptions and there's the one-off orders. And the one-off orders, we work with guys that are portfolio owners. So they've got a number of sites and they can't manage them all themselves. So they want us to do that. So they may order 200,000 words and just say, get it on the site as soon as possible, get it indexed. And, because they're looking to flip the site or just grow it rapidly.
Right.
So, in terms of subscriptions and ongoing subscriptions, the revenue is pretty even between that and links, but we probably get double the amount of content again. It's like, subscriptions probably make up a third of our content orders. The rest is one-offs through either pure investors who wouldn't even know how to set up a WordPress site and just know that it's a good investment and want us to help with that. Or the portfolio owners that have got investment to put into sites.
Yeah. So I've shared actually here on the podcast a little bit that I did place an order with you guys for Own the Yard, my niche site project for site. I went ahead and ordered a Shotgun Skyscraper link building package. And it's been, I don't know, a little over a month and a half ago, something like that I placed the order. And so maybe it'd be interesting to kind of talk through that process a little bit, how that's worked out for me. I went ahead and I ordered that. And as far as the process, I mean, pretty simple. Got an email from your team. They just needed a few things. They got access to Google Analytics and, got familiar with my site so they could figure out what is a good piece of content that they could publish and write for that would be a good Skyscraper piece of content. And they've done that. They have now published that on my site. And it's a super in-depth article. And so I guess people familiar with my site, Own the Yard, the article that Niche Website Publishers published, Niche Website Builders published, was a gardening A to Z article. So sort of gardening A to Z, super in depth, how to get started doing that. And it's great content. So I don't know if there's a question there other than, it's gone well so far to this point. And now I'm sort of waiting to see the links come in. All right.
Yeah.
And so maybe you can tell me what's going on behind the scenes. I guess I think most people probably understand what happens to publish the content, but what happens now, right? Like what's going on behind the scenes to get a bunch of links to that article?
Yeah. So so I think we've been doing outreach for a week today. I kind of checked before the call. So you're about 5 weeks in. So month one of our process is to just get you set up. So and create the content. So there's a number of things that are involved in that. We need to decide on what piece of content we're going to create. So to do that, we go and look at what's already popular within your niche. Kind of taking some of the guesswork away and kind of hoping that you'll get links by looking and finding what's already popular on the understanding that if we create a similar piece of content, then we can expect to get some links too. So we do that research. We then kind of write the copy as well. Write the content as well. We generally create some bespoke artwork to go with that copy, as we did with yours, Spencer, because if we're writing a piece of content, if there are other pieces of content that are similar out there and we're reaching out to the same people to get the links, we want it to look a bit different. We don't want it to be the same stock photography that every other article's got on the topic. So we want to make it stand out a little bit more. So it needs to be in depth. And also we do things like we set you up a fresh domain because, with any kind of outreach, there's a risk of spam, getting caught by spam filters. So we don't want to jeopardize your own site for that. If you ever wanted an email address on your own the Yard domain or whoever you sold it to in the future did. So we set up a Google account, we set up a G Suite account and a fresh domain so that we can kind of do outreach. And generally we use a number of personas on the outreach. So quite often we'll use multiple domains and multiple personas just in case one gets caught by spam filters. We can still keep going, but also it takes a while to warm up the outreach because on a fresh domain, you can't start sending 300 emails a day because, again, the spam filters will pick that up. You need to ramp it up slowly. So we'll send 20 emails a day for the first week, and then 40 a day for the second week, and so on. So we were doing that for clients to start with, but it just takes a long time to get for the wheels to get turning. Even though kind of we advise that, we just figured actually if we have multiple email accounts, we can just make it a little bit faster. So that's kind of month one. So you're in month two now, which is kind of the outreach. So we're ramping up that sending. So we'd expect links to come in slowly, but it's kind of month three onwards. You'd expect the snowball and that sort of compound effect where not only are we sending more emails come the second month of outreach, all of those conversations we started having in the first month are starting to come to fruition as well. And and all the links kind of start rolling in. But so far, we've got one link. I don't think we told you this yet, but we've got one link so far. So
there we go. Awesome.
Let me just check. I think it's a DR64.
Okay.
Yeah, DR64.
That's a good domain.
Negotiating. Yeah, it's a good site. And we're negotiating 3 more at the moment. So, and they are 2 DR29s and DR18. So
awesome.
They're all gardening yard based sites. So you've got topical relevance there as well.
Yep.
So yeah. So
follow up on that. So who's obviously got a huge team, right? That's sort of handling all these emails. And maybe more just an observation. It's even though it's automated emails, you've got to have a live person on the other end when they respond and say, maybe we're interested, right? You're kind of talking about the negotiation. What's sort of the typical responses that you get there? I mean, do you get very many that are just like, sure, I'll add the link?
Yeah. Like it really depends on the niche, right? So gardening's a good one. Any kind of home stuff's generally quite good for getting free links. We found we've got much more experience now over a lot of different niches about where we can expect to get links for free and not. So that's been a challenge for us because we've kind of we have to kind of give an expectation on the website about what people can expect from the service, but it really varies quite greatly. And even since we launched the service, and in the last couple of years, even in the home niches, like people just more savvy. They know a link's got value, it's worth something, and we want you to pay for it.
Yeah.
So getting those free links are harder. So when I was first doing it 2 years ago, I could happily say that you could get 70 or 80% of links in the home niche for free, just because they like the content enough. It depends where you set your threshold of what you're willing to pay. So I had a low threshold of what I was willing to pay for a link. Right. Therefore, a large percentage ended up being free because I didn't pay for any over a certain amount, like $25 or something. So now in some niches we still get plenty, but in things like the digital marketing niche, like everyone wants you to pay for it, right? And a decent value, a decent amount of money for the link as well. So it really depends on niche. It really does.
Yeah, and so that's sort of the new service that you referenced as well, right? You're doing niche edits. How does that differ, I guess, from the shotgun skyscraper? I mean, you're doing outreach for both, but I guess the niche edits is you don't have that skyscraper content. You're really just saying, hey, looks like there might be an opportunity to link to our site, and then negotiating from there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very similar. We're still doing manual outreach to find these opportunities. But we're not doing that first step, I guess, of where we're trying to just get the free link back to the article. So there's a number of benefits there because with Shotgun you can get a lot of links at scale, which works out a pretty good average cost per link. But you've kind of got a mix of, it's whoever responds and kind of the people that are interested. So you might have different levels of relevance there. So you might have, site level relevance, which is the best. You might have article level relevance, or maybe only sentence level relevance. But, we're trying to get links of volume here to increase the domain authority or domain rating. And that's kind of the goal of the Shotgun service. Mm-hmm. Whereas we can be very, very much more targeted with the guest posts and niche edits. So we can say, look, we want it to be site level relevance. We want it to meet all of these criteria in terms of metrics. And we want to be able to point it to our money page, with the shotgun skyscraper, we're trying to get them to point it to our skyscraper article, and then we pass any link juice through to the money pages using internal linking, using Link Whisper, of course.
Of course.
And but with guest posts and niche edits, we're linking directly to the money pages, which is better. You're getting all of that link juice all in one go. But yeah, so I guess that's the difference between the two services.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So what should I expect going forward? Things are going to start to snowball a little bit here. You say in month 2 and 3 of link building. I guess not so much what should I expect, but maybe what have you seen with some previous clients? You've now been doing this almost 12 months. Do you have any sort of clients or example that have been, doing the Skyscraper link building campaign for a number of months that have seen pretty big results?
Yeah. So, I mean, so I think probably one of the best examples we've got right now is we had a client who started with us in January. We did a niche site for them. We did 100,000 words of content on that site straight away. And then come April, when we launched the shotgun service. So that site, I think, we built it in January, launched in February. The shotgun service was available in April. So he did a shotgun campaign with us. And that was over, he went for the top package, which is our ballistic package. So that ended up being around 120 links or so that we built for him over the course of a 4-month period.
Okay.
And then the site was showing good progress. But by the end of the summer, it was kind of at 10,000 sessions a month. It was on an expired domain, but or an age domain, but it was very low. It was like a DR2 or something with it had like 19 referring domains.
Okay, so pretty basic.
Yeah. So obviously it's over. I can't remember exactly what the DR is now, but it's much higher than that, in mid 20s, I think. It's now it's going from strength to strength still. So he then ordered a content subscription with us in kind of July, August time of 30,000 words a month. So overall, the site's probably got like July, August, like 160, 180,000, something like that. No, maybe more, maybe nearly 200,000 words now.
Wow.
But yesterday it kind of hit a new high of 700 visitors in a day. So we're at over 20,000 visitors now. A couple of months ago, I caught up with him, and he was getting 10,000 sessions at that time, and he was doing about $350 to $400 on Amazon associates, and then obviously we can get a Zoic on there at that point as well, which would add another $200 or $300. So he was looking at $500 or so. He was easily kind of getting a return on investment if you think about the asset value that he's got now, and now he's up to 21,000. He's probably doubled that. He's maybe near $1,000 a month since January. So
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I love the sort of hands-off approach. I mean, if I'll be honest, you guys kind of nailed it with the terms of product market fit. Guys like me, I've got a few niche sites, plus I'm trying to run a podcast here, right? I got lots going on. So it's great to be able to have somebody step in and either do content or links like what you guys are doing for me. So it really sort of fits really well with a very specific target audience. So I love what you guys are doing there. Anything else that you just kind of want to share with people that is working well in terms of SEO? Doesn't necessarily have to be specifically what you guys are offering there, but I know you guys kind of do offer a whole range of things there. But just kind of anything that you've seen kind of work well for people either starting out building sites or just something to take an existing site and grow it.
I think I just have to go back to the expired domains. We're seeing a really, it's kind of. I'm not really worked with expired domains much before, so it's kind of reasonably new for me in the last sort of 6 months or so. But we've seen clients doing it and having great success. We started doing our own portfolios and seeing very, very quick growth. we're about to, we're about to kind of take it to the next level. We're about to launch another case study. We've bought an expired domain, a really powerful expired domain. I can't remember. It's like nearly DR60, I think.
Oh, wow.
In a sports niche, and we're going to put 1 million words on it as soon as we can.
Wow.
Hopefully in the next 3 or 4 months, and we're just going to see what happens. But yeah, we've never put content on a site that fast, so it'll be interesting to see how it happens. But it will be on quite a powerful expired domain. But we've been doing this for a number of people, and the way that we're thinking about it now, having done it for a lot of people and for ourselves, is that we're trying to get, if you've got the budget, we're trying to get several horses kind of into the race, because you just never quite know, as with any site, whether it's on an expired domain or not, which one's going to take off and which one isn't. So, Adam has been starting, 1 or 2 sites a month for a number of months now on expired domains.
Okay.
And the goal here is to pick the winning horse, right? So the way that we look at it at the moment is that if we get 10 expired domains, it's 10 sites on 10 expired domains, 100,000 words. We expect about 4 of them to kind of break even, so we kind of get our money back, and that's kind of the worst case scenario. We're expecting 4 to maybe do an extra couple $100 a month, so giving us a return on investment, and then we're expecting to see 2 that just clearly are the winners.
Yeah.
And then we're looking to kind of then sell those ones that have broken us even, or keep some of the other ones for cash flow, and then just reinvest everything into those ones that are the winners. So I think most sites, if you're doing it right, like most sites, in the end, if you keep pushing, of course there's exceptions, but if you push for long enough, you're probably going to see results. But why? The way that we're looking at the moment is like, why have to keep pushing to get the results on a site that's kind of reluctant to do so, when you can put a few horses into the race, pick the winners, and then just reinvest everything into that. So although we really believe in the expired domains, we can't guarantee it every single time.
Sure.
And that's the way that we're personally doing it ourselves. But like I say, you push for long enough, and the expired domain gives you a good start compared to a fresh domain. You're going to get there quicker anyway.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy, and I think a lot of people probably can relate to that. If they've built a lot of sites, they know that certain sites do take off and others just take a little bit longer. That's why it's been really difficult to do sort of a public case study like I've done, is because I say I'm building this domain, this one site, and I kind of push all my chips in, and you kind of hope that it does well. Unfortunately, Own the Yard has done well, right? It's making $2,500 to $3,000 a month, and I'm not putting much work into it at this point, other than what you guys are doing for it. That's my work. I pay you guys to do that, but. So I totally agree. It's difficult to know which sites are going to take off and which ones aren't. And so it's important to invest in those ones that do start to take off. So Mark, I think we've kind of covered what you guys are doing there and how you've grown, some of the SEO strategies that you're implementing there. If people want to check out some of your services, they can, of course, go through my Niche Pursuits link, which is just nichepursuits.com/niche website builders. And if there's any special deals going on at the time, it'll be right there on that page so that people can check out. What's next for Niche Website Builders? I mean, what's the plan? Either new services or just scale much bigger?
Yeah, we're not going to go too crazy on services. We don't want to spread ourselves too thin. We're good at what we do now, and we want to carry on that. And we want to keep scaling up the services we've got. Most likely, there probably will be others further down the line, but we're going to do that slowly. And it's more about these are the core things that you need to build a site: links, content, and the website itself. And that's probably what we're going to stick to primarily in going forward. But it's all about how do we get in front of more people now.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. Any parting words, any either final advice or just thoughts for our Niche Pursuits podcast listeners?
No, I think if in the description you can put we've got a wait list for the expired domain. We offer an expired domain sourcing service. So we can help people. We do some due diligence to help people find the right domains. If we can put something in the description about that, like which is just a waiting list at this time, or a mailing list, so you can get on the list and you can talk more about that. So that's the only thing. But other than that, just be patient. I think as anything with the affiliate sites, you'll get there in the end.
That's right. Absolutely. Very good, Mark. Thanks for coming on and chatting for a little bit, giving us an update on not only the business, but some of the strategies you guys are doing and providing for your clients. So I appreciate it.
Thanks, Spencer.